All right. Good morning, everybody. This is the Monday Training Mastermind AM edition, February 3rd, 2025. And we're going to be going over some exciting material today, a little bit about how to get into the Learn function on our Sales Rabbit, where we can find training material. And then we're going to go right back into the heart of the matter of 101 of our favorite objections that don't mean anything, that we're going to overcome all of and continue to sell based off of what they said. So we're going to go back to those. I see we got Aaron on here too, so hopefully he'll chime in again a little later. Had some really golden nuggets for us last week that I know we all appreciated. So anyway, yeah, so let's go ahead and get into it. Welcome, everybody. I appreciate you getting on this morning, taking a minute to jump in here. And yeah, we'll make sure to include anybody from this morning call when we spin the wheel tonight on the PM call. So thank you very much. And if you are iPhone or Zoom user or something, feel free to drop your name in the chat so we can get you on the wheel. And let's see. So couple of updates. Basically, what I want to show everybody how to do first is how to access the Learn function that we have now, which is where we're going to put all of the onboarding material, the training material. I'm building out training material for every individual ISP. So if you yourself or somebody who's coming in as you've been selling for Frontier, but now you're going to go sell for Fiber First, well, you'll be able to go watch the intro to Fiber First video and like figure out what the heck's going on or whatever, right? So we're working on all that. That's going to be coming up over the next weeks and months. But right now I have started to, we finally got the program working and I figured out how to actually build it. And I have put a few things into it. And there's going to be more in it this week, as well as all the replays of these Monday calls, both the AM and the PM are all titled and they're going in there. So if you want to go back and reference it or watch it again or send somebody else to it, you know where to find it. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. This will just take a couple seconds and I'll show you guys how to make sure you know how to get into there, okay? So I'm going to share my screen. I am on my computer. And let me go ahead and, so now I'm screen sharing. Here we go. So what I will say is, so here I am, I'm inside of my Sales Rabbit on my computer. Can everybody see that? Are you guys seeing this? Anybody? Can I get a thumbs up or something? Yeah, it's working. Okay. So I was going to show you this on my phone, but I got to be honest. Right now on the phone, it's not working as good as we wish because it still just takes you to the web version. So it works fine on your phone. Don't get me wrong. On your phone, I'll just show you on the video here. On your phone, you're going to go to, you're going to go up at the top of your Sales Rabbit next to Beyond Pro. It says Learn. You're going to hit Learn. And Learn would take you right to where we're going to go. You see that at the top right of my screen there, guys, on the Sales Rabbit. So you go into Sales Rabbit, the top right corner, you'll notice it says Learn. You would simply click that, okay? When you do, it's going to take you to here, Learn. On the phone, you're going to be on the web for now, and it's like these things go down instead of over, but you have all the same stuff here. You don't have analytics, author, and admin because I'm building it with those. You just have Learn as your only tab, and you've got learning and journeys, and you're going to want to go to learning.
All of that to God. It's not that I don't want that. I don't know.
Hey, Sassy Ashley, I'm putting you on mute if you don't mind, just just remember to stay on that, please. Anyway, here we go. So this is the learning, and there is an app. The app is called Bridge. And so eventually you'll be able to go into Bridge on your phone and go straight to this, and then we'll all be in a nice app setting. There's still some issue with us logging into the Bridge app. So you're going to have it as a web version. So what I'm ultimately saying is if you really want to spend some time to train, and you can go in front of a computer to log into this, get into your Sales Rabbit on the computer on the web, so you have a bigger screen to look at. I would recommend, for now at least, that you do this on your computer because you're going to have a much easier layout, right? When the app part of it is fully functioning, that's probably going to be the slickest way to go into this stuff. And obviously, it's convenient. You can throw it on in the car ride on the way out in the morning and put your earbuds in and watch it even with 5 people in the car or whatever, right? Main thing I want to point out on this though, let me make this just a little smaller. Okay, here we go. So you're going to be in here in My Learning. So you have My Learning, the Learning Library, and the Training Calendar. Basically, what you're going to learn is what you're going to want to use right now is the Learning Library. Okay, this software would allow me to assign you a learning module. So that would be in My Learning. My Learning would be, I'm just messing around with it. So I've assigned myself these ones. Okay. Sales Rabbit gave us like 150 courses that they made, which are actually pretty good, all of which are in the library. But like, let's say I said, hey, Jeff, I really want you to do this course because it's going to help you figure out the answer to your question in great detail. So I'm going to assign you course XYZ. I'm going to give you 7 days to do it. And then you would see in My Learning, boom, this course pops up and it would say it's required. It takes 7 minutes and you can hover it and you can go to the details of it, or you can start it or resume it or whatever. And it'll ask you if you're ready to start, and then you click through it. And then eventually these will be tokenized where the amplify part of Sales Rapid, the gamification part, will have a coin system, and I'm going to dish out coins, and so I might say, hey, anybody who does this training gets 5 coins, but the first 10 people that do it get 100 coins or whatever, right? And so those coins will be, you can turn them in for swag, for gift cards, for airline tickets, whatever, eventually, right? So you're going to want more coins. So that's kind of how this is going to be working, coming soon, So this is what I'm working on. But I wanted to get it up and get it started so that we have something to use and everybody's getting used to logging into it and getting used to sending people here when they need info instead of all across the universe. Okay. So if you're on it right now, following along is even amazing. Go to the Learning Library. So the Learning Library is where everything that you want right now is at. And the Learning Library is basically the catalog of everything that you can see right now. I'm going to make more and more of the courses available in the Learning Library because I've got a ton of courses available through Sales Rabbit that I haven't turned on for us yet, but you'll see that I'll do those pretty soon. Okay. When you go into the Learning Library, what you have is you've got look, there's all this stuff about rep card and how to set it up, and rep card 1 of 3 and rep card 2 of 3 and rep card 3 of 3 and all this stuff. But it's kind of confusing in my opinion because there's just everything imaginable in here, and there's about to be just way more, right? And you've got the Monday training call AM and PM and AM and PM and blah, blah, blah. But here's what I've done for you. You go to filter by and you go to program. And so the Learning Library is full of courses. I have taken multiple courses and combined them into programs to make it easier to find what the heck you want. So filter by programs, and all you'll see are the programs, which are rep card setup and utilization, which is made up of 5 steps, meaning 5 courses. And they're already organized for you in order. And then you've got the Monday training call replays, which is currently 4 steps because there's 4 videos. So if I click here and I go to enroll on the Monday training call, well, I'll do the rep card, let's say. Doesn't even matter, but I want to resume the training for the rep card. I'm on step 3 of 5. And so here's the steps: how to set it up, do first, how to utilize it, 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3. And the text you can copy when you're setting yours up is 5, right? And so I can go in and I can go to resume, and it takes a little bit of a second to load. Plus I'm on a Zoom and my internet's not ultra screaming over here. It's the dumbest thing when we can't get fiber at our house and we sell fiber internet. That's just like, what irony, right? Oh, complete. There's a couple that's like, do you want to take it? Yes. Okay. Resume. Complete. Whatever. Mine's just moving really slow. So, dun dun dun. You completed that one. Great. Next up, this one. Step 4 or 5. I think my computer's slow, but you see what you anyway. You see what's going to happen. It's going to pop up a Loom video where I'm showing you how to use your rep card. It's just slow because of my internet. But I did this yesterday. It all works great. So bottom line is go in here. You can use these things. If you have a new rep, instead of spending an hour and a half with them on rep card, just send them into this, and then there they go. They can figure it all out on their own. I think my thing is just too slow because my internet sucks over here. Don't get Starlink if you want to have a fast internet. But anyway, somehow in here you can finish this thing and do it all. I don't know what I just did, but it's all in here. So when you're not on 7 things at once on the internet, it'll work great for you. So that's what we got. Learning, go to the learning library, filter by program, and then you've got the programs. So anyway, I'm going to keep, yeah, you've been invited to take Monday training called replays. Great. So I'm registering, which doesn't mean anything because I just have it available, but I've been enrolled in this program. Sweet, guys. Let's get started. And then here I have just all the calls. So I'll keep dumping all the calls in here. You can go in, you can click them. Maybe these ones need to keep uploading. I don't know. Yesterday it was all good, but these are all in here, guys. So you can click on these, you can go to them, you can watch them. So there we go. They're all going to be dumped in there. And what you'll see is over the next few days, weeks, every time you go back to this bad boy and you go to the learning library and you filter by programs, there's going to be more of them in there. There's going to be, I'm about to add another one on how to use SalesRabbit. So you're going to see just program after program after program getting dumped in there. Find those, follow those, do those, send your people to those. All right. Any questions on those? And I know my internet kind of sucks right now, but they do work pretty good. So, okay. All right. I'm going to stop my share. Let's go back to this jazz. And okay. So everybody's good on that. Make sure you get in there. Make sure you know how to do it. If it wants you to download the Bridge app, that's awesome. Go ahead and do it, but just realize it doesn't actually work yet. You're going to have to view all that on the web, whether your phone or on the computer. But it will work soon. I'm all over it. So pushing these guys as fast as they can move. All right. Lovely. Let's shift gears and let's move into the wonderful world of overcoming objections. Let me get rid of all this jazz real quick on my screen. And okay, so let's review just a little bit from last week, and then we're going to push on into this week. So one thing I wanted to mention here, as far as like I'm not sure what Bryce's quote of the week is actually, but like as far as something to kind of go by, you've probably already heard this before, so it may not be big news to you. But I was seeing, I saw some meme over the weekend and I just liked it, so I wanted to throw it in. It's like, what kind of a person are you going to be this week? Are you going to be a one-day person? Like, I'll get out early one day. I'll go to the field longer one day, or are you going to be a day one? I'm going to the field earlier, and today is day one. Are you going to be a one-day kind of person, or are you going to be a today is day one kind of person, right? So I'm encouraging you to say today is day one for whatever it is that you need to do a little more of this week, whether it's exercise or eat your lunch sooner or get out earlier or stay longer or listen to 5 more no's at every door before you give up and walk away or whatever it is. Today's day one that I'm starting now. Not one day I might think about doing it soon. That's never happening. Day one today. So let's get game faces on for this week. It's our last, it's the last week of January. It's the first week of February at this point. I can't even understand what happened to the rest of January. It's time to turn the volume up. In just another few short weeks, we're going to be into that prime time, March, April, May, June, where the doors are going to be hot. You're going to want your pitch down. You're going to want to be in your flow because you're going to be able to go out and get way more doors, and the days are going to get longer and longer. We should have exponentially more success every single week for the next 30 weeks or whatever, right? So, let's get in that energy of momentum. Make today day one. And then we're one day. I'm going to be a good sales rep. Today is the first day you are a good sales rep. In fact, you're better than that. So, I also heard a little something this weekend, like time, right? There's so much time in the universe, you can wade in it. It's like the infinite sea of time. There's so much time, we can even waste it. And there's still more time left than we need, right? So, but the only time you can actually use time is now. You can't use time before, you can't use time that hasn't happened yet in the future. Now is the only thing that exists, obviously, and now is the only time you can use the time, which is so much we can waste it and it doesn't even matter, right? Because it just keeps coming. But if you want to do anything about it, use it now. So day one, today, we're going to use this time effectively. Today, we're going to get out there and crush. And how do we do it? By being patient, going in service, understanding that the objections they give us probably aren't real, allowing them to flounder in their confusion for a while, standing there as solid and confident as a rock, lasting longer than they do, so that when they finally get through all those objections or smoke screens or whatever they throw out, you're just still there. All I'm doing is name, number, email, and hey, we can get over here next week. Great. So on that note, last week, objections. Let's review. Discerning, is this a smoke screen that has no basis in reality? Like, oh, I'm really busy. It's meaningless, those first 2, 3, 4 no's, go aways, usually are all smoke screens. They're not really objections. They haven't even really thought about or listened to what you have yet. And you certainly should not say, okay, and leave. You should just say, so that's actually why they sent me out here. So see, what we're doing, I know they were out here a couple weeks ago, but what I'm actually doing is a little different. So what I'm actually doing is, interestingly enough, that's actually why they sent me over to your house today. So that's actually what we're doing out here. That's why we came by, because we know you're happy with that internet you have. Yeah, we know it's just fine. Yeah, that's fine. But see, what we're actually doing is, and just keep going. You never ever can give up and leave on the first 2, 3, 4, 5 no's. Right? So just get used to the idea that you're going to get a bunch of no and you're not going to react to it at all. You're going to acknowledge it, but not grow it and not give it more power. You're going to acknowledge it, you're going to rein them back in, and then you're going to keep going on your pitch, just the same as if they never talked. Okay? You're going to recognize when they actually have a question because they want the internet. It's not an objection like, we're going to put a patio in next year, and so is there any way to put the line around where that's going to go? Where's it going to be buried? Or my router's in the living room right now. Do you think we could put it in the family room if we redid it? These all 100% mean they want to buy it. You need to overcome those questions, answer them to the best of your ability, and then get them and signed up for a day to get installed, right? Those are not objections. You can use felt, found, feel, the neighbors felt like this, but, they found that, this and that. And so, that's why everybody feels like this now. That's great. Especially to add to that bandwagon effect, talking about how the neighbors already did it, past tense. And this is what they felt, they found, and they feel now. And I'm pretty sure if you do the same, you're going to be right at the same boat with them. Why don't we put you down for Wednesday? Not asking you to make any decisions today. But at least that way we can get you done while we're doing everybody else, let you guys try it out. Worst case scenario is we got you done while we were doing it free, but I'm sure just like they found, you're going to feel the same, and you will find by the time you try it a couple days that you actually love it, and the bill is half, and you're going to keep it on like everybody else already did. Okay, feel, felt, found. Isolating objections. Aaron brought this up. So you're telling me that it was a big hassle for you because you were going on vacation and you had just finished a bunch of yard work. So you thought it was a great idea, and besides the fact that it was a big hassle, you would be ready to go ahead and get this thing installed if it just wasn't such a hassle and there's no other objections. Yeah. Okay, great. Well, then I'm going to make it not a hassle. So anything you define as a hassle, assume it's gone. I've taken it away. I'm going to handle everything for you. And just to reaffirm those, if that was gone and there was no hassle, you'd be ready to sign up, right? Okay, great. Well, Nothing left to say. Now let's go ahead and get you on the map because I'm going to make it no hassle for you. So when you can isolate an objection and get them in the corner, you're always going to win because you need to do whatever you can do to take away whatever that pain point is. And then they just told you there's nothing left. So they can't really talk anymore. They're just going to have to sign up. So, so there's good. And then we'll get into, what is that problem, right? And that's going to be kind of more of the heart of where we're going with this combo today, how to really get into the details of like all the minutia of exactly what people are going to bring up. Okay. Whether they be objections or questions. So, and then another thing reviewing is just like getting on their side, right? It's not you against them. It's not, can I sell this to them and, get the better of them. It's that, hey, what's up, Susie? My name's Gnome. How do you feel about Comcast? Oh, you hate them? Oh, that's hilarious because everybody else, I've never heard of that. Everybody else I went to today, they were inside their house when I showed up, writing Comcast thank you letters and blowing them up balloons. One lady was baking them a cake, Right, just kidding. Never seen that in my life. Never going to see it. Tell you what, I'm on your side, Susie, because nobody down here likes Comcast. There's no way to hide that. I'm on your side. I'm going to help you get off of it. You and me are in this together. Let's get this form filled out so we can make sure to get you done while we're doing everybody else, because everybody down here obviously is done with Comcast, right? So it's you and the customer against the coax company, against the other fiber company, against the world, essentially. And you're in their corner. You're their little advocate who's shown up to help them get this done because for whatever reason they didn't do it themselves. And so they sent me down here from, customer service land to help you personally fill out this 4-part form with your name and pick a day. But I'm happy to because I'm on your side and we're here to get this done together. Okay. So there's some review. Anybody questions, comments on our little review? Anybody do any of that this week that they hadn't been and it seemed like it's helping? Anybody trying? So that's the reason I'm out here as the answer to every single question they ask.
Could I add something?
Bring it, Aaron. Yeah, please.
So it's really just reiterating the isolating the objection. A lot of people don't really feel like that's real or understand how to use it. And maybe they need some more examples, I guess. So I guess I could give you an example of like money, if somebody's like, well, yeah, I was going to get you guys, but it was just my provider gave me a better offer. Immediately, what we want to do is jump on that and say, oh, well, I can give you a better rate, or if they're like, yeah, they lowered my rate to $60 for another year. Immediately, we want to jump on it, right? And be like, oh, well, I have a promo that I can apply and I can give you a better deal. And then they're going to go, oh, no, it's okay. We know what's going to happen, yet we do it still, right? But when you can isolate that objection and get the customer to admit they will sign up with us as soon as you can resolve that concern, it completely changes the sale. So give me that objection, no?
Yeah, I mean, we were going to sign up because, when you came by last time, but then I ended up calling in to Comcast just to see like what would happen if I canceled it. And the lady just gave me a crazy good rate. And so we just decided not to go for it,
Oh, okay. So you guys were going to get us, you like the idea of it because you just didn't like the Xfinity, but then they give you a better rate. And so if I could beat the rate, that was the one thing that was holding you back from coming over, right?
Yeah, I mean, the service sucks, but, it's just like they ended up giving me like $30 less a month. So it's like, it's basically the same price as what you guys were going to charge, but I don't have to do anything. It's just in. So, I don't know. The wife said, just kind of leave it like that for now. So I think we're probably,
right.
Because it was mostly the price, like to get it in and go through the hassle. If we could have saved $30-40 a month, we want that,
right.
speed, but
yeah, absolutely. So no, what I'm hearing from you is, don't want to cut you off. What I'm hearing is that you wanted us. It was just the price and the hassle and all that together. That was kind of those were the things that were holding you back, right? So if all that wasn't there, and say Xfinity didn't make it easy for you to stay with them, you would have moved over to us, right?
Well, if they wouldn't have gave me that promo, no way would I stayed on them. I would have definitely just called that last guy back and gotten on the schedule when you guys were down here like 6 months ago.
Beautiful.
Sure.
Yeah. So no, here maybe for you. I'm going to swing back in about 10 minutes. I'm just going to text my boss. We obviously want your business, right? I'm gonna text my boss and just ask him if we can do something on the price. If I can beat the price, though, you're in, right? So I'll be back in about 10 minutes, and then we'll see what he says.
Yeah, if you could beat that price, I think we'd go ahead and just go for it because the service is getting slower and slower on this stuff.
Rock and roll. It's never gonna get better, man. I'm excited for you. So yeah, I mean, I'll see what he can do. Sometimes he says no, but usually he's gonna get it. Okay, I'll let you know about 10 minutes. Have a good day, man. We'll see you.
Okay. Okay, cool. I guess I'll be here.
Bye. And sometimes I'll leave. Sometimes I'll do it right there and just text the customer. If they're in a hustle, it sounds like you're in a hustle. I'll just, if they're on a call or something. Anyway, but the idea is though that I'm isolating that objection and saying, hey, if I fix your problem, you're gonna get this, right? I get that confirmation from the customer. If I fix that, you're gonna get it, right? And now all I have to do is fix that problem, and then I win. Where if you just jump on it, put a band-aid on their huge problem, like, well, I'll be three. Oh yeah, it's okay. It's not gonna work. So stop trying to make it work. That's all.
Yeah, 100%. This is good. And I mean, nobody really has the confidence hardly at all to tell you that if you took that objection away, they would sign up, and then you take it away and then they're going to say, well, I'm still not sure. Like they're going to feel like, wow, I just told this guy I would sign up if he took that objection away, and then he did. So they're just going to sign up. Aaron's 100% right. If you can get them into this corner, you are going to win almost every single time.
Can I add to that?
Yeah, and I'll say just 1 second, Rob. But I think the thing is to even get to that, you have to go back to what we were talking about, the last few weeks in the sticky sales. Is you've got to get through all their objections. You've got to get to what that is, right? You've got to be able to go through probably, what do you think, Aaron? 2, 3 no's at the door at least before you even really get to this one, thing that you can isolate, because they're not even to you at the beginning. It's gonna
the smoke screens are going to be. Sorry, man, I got delayed. So the smoke screens are going to be there 100% every time, and that's what I was saying. One-liners are great to have lined up. So if somebody does have a smoke screen of just like, yeah, we're not really interested, like your one-liner of, yeah, that's why I'm here. That line will get you through those smoke screens to get to the real objections. And then you just start your sale again. Yeah, that's why I'm here. So what we're doing, and then just start your sale again, right? Those one-liners just brush past those. They're not real objections, the smoke screens. So then you can pull out the real objections when the people say, well, we did talk to a guy. They're going to finally the real objection. Right? Exactly. So anyway, sorry, what was Rob?
Yep, go ahead, Rob.
So whenever because I've run this a few times, and the first thing I say is like, Mr. Smith, that's another red flag to you. I mean, you've complained to them about the service. You've complained about their, the quality of the connection. You've complained about the price, and you've called them and they said, oh, I'm going to give you a cheaper price, and I'm going to maybe bump you up in speed. You settle for a yes on the phone. That is yes to you. I mean, don't you see it as a red flag? I mean, has anything changed? Let's run a speed test. Let's see if things change. And 9 out of 10 times, it's going to be the same thing. The same speeds, because I've ran it up exactly the same before. I mean, I throw it back to them that's still a red flag. I mean, if they're still going to give you a cheaper price for the same service, I mean, does it make sense to pay less and get more reliable internet?
100%. Yeah. I mean, those things all sound good, and they're kind of like a backwards way to do what is like almost like reverse isolating by deduction. Like if you can't get them to tell you what the problem is, then sort of what I'm hearing here is like, and I'll do this sort of, is you just sort of go backwards through like, well, it's not this, it's not that, it's not this. You obviously want a faster speed, so then pretty soon they don't have much left to comment on, but whatever that real objection is, if there still is one, because you're taking everything else away. So
yeah, we're not going down. We're not going down in our price. We're not giving anything different. We're still giving the same thing, and we're standing by our product because it's valued. I mean, as soon as we start, devaluating it, then their mind starts thinking, well, why wasn't this offered before? If you stick to your guns, in my opinion, then you're building more value in your product.
100%. Yeah. The only downside to to structuring it that way, and it's not bad. You can do that. I do that as well sometimes, but it turns into kind of like condescending to a customer if you just say, yeah, well, you're in the same place. You're kind of giving them a guilt trip of like, well, you're in the same situation and you're going to stay with your current internet. So I try to focus on the positives. It's okay to like sprinkle that in there and just say, so yeah, you guys already know you're in the same situation with Xfinity and it's not going to get faster, right? You just sprinkle that in there and then go back to isolating the objection. It's still good. But if you're just focusing on that, I've had customers just like, I'm done talking to you, and they'll just, because they feel the guilt trip, and then they'll just go in the house, right? And so just be careful, I just say to the new people that are listening, because obviously Rob knows how to do that, but just be careful that you're not sending that customer down a guilt trip. Nobody wants to feel like they made a bad decision. So
yeah, I 100% agree. You don't want them to feel like, because it's like, if you're not getting faster internet that costs you less, like maybe you have a problem with math. Like, I don't know what to tell you, man, but like, I want to be condescending if you're not buying this because it makes sense to buy it. I'm literally trying to ask you if I could give you $100 bill and you could just change me a 5. I'm begging you to take my 100 and give me your 5. And people still won't do it. It's like, how can you not do that, right? But we can't really be condescending at all on people because, they're going to feel bad. They know that it's a better choice to go with us, but there's something inside themselves, that secret objection, that's not letting them do it. People know it would be really healthy to have a green drink instead of 6 coffees a day, but do they do it? No, they don't do it for 10 years, right? So that is a personal problem that everybody has of knowing what's better for you versus just doing the same old crap, right? Because habits are the nature of humans. But if we can empower them to make the switch versus, guilt trip them into make the switch, I agree with Aaron, it's better. Now, other times that it has a place with scale to do it, there are. But you can probably get more customers faster with other methods. So I would use it as a secondary, tertiary method. One thing I like to say to sum up the whole experience with copper, you've already got internet. Oh yeah, of course. No, I look at my sales rabbit. Yeah, my map here shows you guys are still on that old copper coax, the Comcast. Yeah, it's fine. And you probably got the 1 gig speed, like 105 a month, like everybody else did down here. Right. Okay. 110. Sure. The thing about that old copper is it's either for everybody else, there's only a few houses down here we're still trying to switch or we just got the line in. So everybody's ready to get off of it. Because as you probably know, it's never getting faster. It's only getting slower and it's never getting less expensive. The price is only going up. Maybe you're on a promo or something for a few months, but when that ends, it's going way back to the top of where you end, where you came from. Right. So most people say if it's not one, it's already both. And that's why there's hardly anybody else down here not on the fiber yet. And they're going to shake their head if you say, that old copper is usually either too slow for folks or too expensive. If it's not both already, that's my one-liner. That old copper is either too slow for folks or it's too expensive if it's not both already. They're going to shake their head to that every time. They're going to say, yeah, it's getting to be pretty expensive. Or, yeah, it's slower than crap. Or, yeah, it's been both for quite a while. You would never really, I would challenge you to find someone this week that you say, yeah, that old copper for most folks is pretty much too slow or too expensive if it's not both already. They're going to say, oh, no, it's perfectly fast and we've got a really cheap price. You'll get like one of these a month out of like 300 people, right? So that little one-liner for me kind of just sums up everything Rob said, but in a little more positive light of like, here's your options with Comcast. It's going to get slower for more expensive. It's the only way it's going. The fiber, that's why and I can even say, that's why who's they? I don't know, the municipality, the feds, that's why they put the fiber into every address. Because as you probably already know, it's like half what you're paying now and the price isn't really going up. Way faster and more reliable. That's why everybody else over here is already done. Right?
Will you post that one-liner?
Yeah, I can put it in I'll put it like in the group me chat when we're done with the call. I say, I'll put it in here too. Like I always say, I say a lot of these at the door. I say, you know what I always say, or like I always say, and I say what I always say, because it also kind of alludes to this idea that I'm talking to thousands of people and this is all I do all day. So even if you're brand new, if you're kind of like still gaining confidence because you know to really know what you're doing, throw in a couple Well, as I always say, sounds like you've been working here for a decade. As I always say, that old copper, it's either too slow for you or too expensive. If it's not both already, pretty much everybody down here said it's both already. Yep, both already. And almost in a way, it's kind of like isolating that copper internet in a way that if they agree to both of those, well, if it's, so it's too slow and it's too expensive. So is there, any reason left why we can't sign you up right now? No. So that's a really good one. I'm typing it right now. Like I always say, that old, never say the word copper without saying old first. Don't say the C word. It's old copper. That old copper internet is either too slow or too expensive for you if it's not both already. And that also alludes to the fact that no matter what you do, it will be both at some time real soon. So if it only is too expensive or it's only too slow, get ready because it's about to be both. And then you're going to be really hurting and wishing you got my little free install while I came by, buddy. So let's do it now because today's my day one of kicking ass at every door and taking no prisoners. And you're going to have to be screaming no at me in a megaphone to get me to react to no, I don't want it. Obviously, you don't want it. Otherwise, you'd already have it, right? Thanks for the update. I'm going to keep going on my pitch, Okay, so there you go. It's in the chat. I'll throw it into the group me here in just a little bit. Okay, so I just realized you guys can see all of my notes when I'm on this little fancy thing when you're on the recording. I'm gonna move this over. Okay, so you're gonna get a little bit of a if you look at the recording, you can see all my notes. So you can see last week, next week. You'll learn a lot more than you think you're here for. All right, so yeah, this is some good stuff, guys. And there's so much to this art of overcoming objections. I mean, this is a real energetic game. We probably got time for like another one or two, but you know what? That was so much info. I want to just back up for a second to the bigger view, and then we'll go maybe back into like one more hyper detail.
Hey, can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead, Carlos. Thank you.
Hey, so I got one of the new guys here.
Mhm.
I'm going to switch it around. He just wanted to ask a question. His name is Jaquan. Go ahead, brother.
Brandon. Yeah, just asking a question. Hey, okay, so a lot of people in our area are using that AT&T and they're using fiber. How would we go about that, Roberto?
AT&T fiber for 65 a gig. Is that what it is over there?
Like $80. Yes, sir.
80 a gig?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. And what are you selling and how much is it?
I'm selling fiber.
Texas,
Texas.
68.
It's 68.
For 1 gig and how much for a 2?
$89 for 2.
$90.
$90 for a 2.
Great. How's it going? Yeah, what's up? Sorry to be a bother. So I'm out here on the fiber utility for Vexus. I'm, not sure what you know about it. We had laid that main line through the neighborhood for the internet upgrade down here. Yeah, all those little green poles. Anyway, we hadn't heard from you. We are doing a route down here next week is the reason I'm out. We wanted to make sure we got everybody's line ran from the main to the street. So we hadn't heard from you. I'm just trying to figure out what day would be better for you. Oh, you're on the AT&T? Yeah, no, most of the people down here are on the AT&T. See, that's why they sent me over. What we're actually doing is they upgraded the system here with Vexus. I know the connectivity for a lot of folks, you figured out some pain point. Either they fucked up the, excuse my language, they messed up the terminal when they put the main line in or whatever, but some pain point. I know there's been some connectivity problems down here for a lot of the folks. They've been telling me. Basically what we've done is we just get you installed for free, nothing to really do. We'll give you another set of gear. You can leave that AT&T on even just until ours is in to make sure ours is up and running. We're giving you the same service, but a little better terms, and our gig costs $10 less a month. So to get the higher connectivity, that's what everybody's doing. Now, if you are working from home, like a lot of the folks down here, what we went ahead and did for those guys is we're just like when you got on the AT&T and got off the Spectrum down here, that old copper, when your speed went way up and probably the price even went, down. I know you guys are probably paying what over here, $80 for the gig on the AT&T. right? 80 bucks, like 83 after tax or something. So what we do is we just double your speed. It's 89. So for the extra $5-6 a month, it's no big deal. We double that speed for you guys working from home. They don't even have the 2 gig over here on AT&T. So while we can double it, get it done for free, it basically leaves the bill the same. That's what we went ahead and did for everybody else. So we'll done, let you check it out. But what day was better, like Tuesday or Wednesday? And the way I would sell against fiber in most cases is, especially if you have a 2 gig and the other company doesn't, is you just tell the people, just like you doubled your speed up when AT&T came through and wired you guys and got you off the copper. That's all we're doing again. We're just doubling everybody's speed while we're down here. It's basically the same price. So what do you?
Oh, boom. All right. That's very, I understand that.
So that's what I would tell them. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But that's the main way I would approach that. Aaron, what would you do?
I think that's flawless. Well done.
Say again.
I think that was flawless. It was great.
Flawless. Ooh, jeez. Okay. Flawless. Yeah. And the thing is you notice all I said is I'm here to find out what day you want because we didn't hear from you. I don't ask you if you want it. I don't ask you if I'm just telling you we're coming in to do it. I'm here to find out what day did you want, Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm not here. I'm not even thinking about trying to sell you internet. That's not even on the table. This is obvious that you're getting it. We are just doubling the speed for you. Same price, pretty much. What day? And then see if they give me objections, or sometimes people just say, okay, Tuesday afternoon, you know. I have pitches that are 15 minutes long or whatever, and literally the only word the lady says is, yep, okay, sure, yeah.
I was
That makes sense.
the other day.
Because every single thing that I say is something they can say yes to. Hey, sorry to be a bother. So I'm out here on the fiber utility. Okay. So I don't know what you know about it, but we put that main line in the neighborhood for the internet upgrade down here for all you guys. So the reason I'm out here is we're going to be doing a route through the neighborhood already next week. Okay. So all I'm doing is trying to figure out what day you wanted. We hadn't heard from you, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Oh, okay. So see, what we're actually doing is we're going to send a guy by. We're going to get the thing all installed up from the main into the house for you, test it, activate it, turn it on. It'll just be going for you to start using. Okay. We do it for free, nothing to worry about. I do know you're on the old copper. I show it right here on my map. That's fine. You're leaving that on for today. No decision to change the internet here in the moment. We're simply just scheduling to get this thing into the house. And then it will be on, and you are going to change. And you go on and on and on in the pitch, and you convert it from that to I'm selling you 2 gig internet as soon as you can, all the way through from whichever way it's going to lead. But anyway, yeah, that's how I would approach that thing in short. So, and I remuted you, Carlos. I'm sorry, just while I was explaining, but feel free to come off if you want real quick. Did that get you something to work on?
Yes, sir. Did it. And I'm not saying I'm using make that upgrade rather than make a switch, correct?
I never say switch. I tell them you're not switching internet. They say, I want to talk to my husband and wife. Absolutely. I would definitely want to talk to my wife in detail before we made any kind of decision, which we would only make together. 100%. You should talk to your wife about it. So that's why what we'll do today is go ahead and get you on the calendar, not making any decisions to switch the internet today. This is simply an appointment to get the line in, get it on, so you guys can try it out. You'll have it side by side what you have for a day or two. Like everybody else down here, once you see the speed and we show you the speed test, once it's installed, once you look at the bills and compare them, there's no way you're gonna go back to the coax. Most people turn it off the day of or the day after we get the fiber in. You just want to make sure it gets in and it's up and running and everything's good. Then you're going to go ahead and turn that off like everybody else did down here. But no decision to be made today. You guys get it in. It's going to be on. Try it out. Talk about it. See if it makes sense for you guys to get a faster speed for about half the price you're paying. And I think you'll see it does. And that's why we go ahead and do it like this. If everyone who was getting it pretty much installed didn't keep that service on, there's no way we could afford to give all these free installs out. But they do, and that's why we still do it this way. It works for us, this business model, and I'm 100% sure if we can get your line in and let you guys try it so you can make that choice together, you're going to see it make sense and you're going to go ahead and switch to our internet. Then I'll throw a switch in, but not after I said you're not switching like 3 times. I couldn't even switch your internet today if I wanted to. I'm just here to sign you up for an appointment in a few days that will get the line in the house. Now that comes with the service on, by the way, but I'm not doing that. I'm just signing you up. So it's not personal between me and you. It just happens. We put the line in, which is what I'm scheduling. They turn it on. The company wouldn't run a business model that's stupid and loses some money. So guess what? If we get it turned on in your house, 99.9 out of 100 people leave it on, because when you look at the bill and you look at the speed and everything in your house has better quality, everybody leaves it on. That's why this works for us. That's why I'm sure if we get you in today, you're going to love it. Just like all your other neighbors. Let's get you going.
Yes, sir. That's
You're going to have to like pick me up and run and haul me down the street to get me out of your house. You know, you don't want to be so annoying they sign up just to get you to leave, but close.
Yeah.
Okay, we're almost out of time, guys. So that was a great question, Carlos. Thank you. And that was basically, you know, something on my list. And we'll probably do a whole week on selling against fiber, because there is an art to selling where you have a coax and one or more fibers in the neighborhood. I spent a lot of time selling against 2 to 3 fibers in the neighborhood, even where I didn't even have the best offer, honestly, and I was still selling pretty darn good. So there's an art to it. There is a skill to it. There is a way to do it. And one of my favorite ways is going in, just saying, just like they got you this speed, we're upgrading you again. So just pick a day. Same price, new speed, right? That's the best way. And if that works for you, that's going to be your best way to get those done. What was I going to say? There was something really cool in here I was going to say. It was like a really cool point. What was that? I was about to get to it, and then you got that great question. I was saying, now let's zoom out and think about something, but I can't even remember what it was. I really got there. We got about 2 to 5 minutes left here. 1 second, guys.
While you're looking, Noam, I got a question for
Go
you.
ahead.
How do you monetize this? I was talking to Brandon about it the other day. How do you turn this into your training into a recruiting tool, and maybe a YouTube channel, maybe a podcast, something like that?
Well, we don't want to monetize or make any of this public, because this is all our proprietary top secret information. And so if we let all the other sales reps that aren't in Beyond Pro in the country know my secret sauce and all of our secret sauces, then that's not good for us. We want it to be that if you want the secret sauce, you need to come to Beyond Pro, and then we'll give it all to you. But otherwise, there's no price that anybody could pay, because if I put this info on YouTube and 1 million guys go make $1 million off of it, they would all owe me $1 million or whatever, and I'm not going to get a cent. So I don't want to do that. And Bryce and Lucas pay me fine to sit here and do these, so I'm good.
Okay.
But I think, you know,
I just didn't know if you could use it for a recruiting tool to bring more people in. Obviously, you monetize it by teaching these guys to be better and do what they've got to do in the homes.
Yeah.
But I was just trying to look at tomorrow.
Well, I mean, if you're a leader out here, you know, or you are bringing people in, you definitely say, hey, you know what, we do a training call. You know, I know you're not even on board, but here, I'll just give you a taste of it. Like, here's the link, jump in Monday and watch it with me.
Okay.
Whatever, you know, or, you know, send them one replay. You know, you can download, I think, out of that training maybe or something, and like, you know, or whatever, like, but, you know, give them a little teaser. Say, now, if you join up, you know, you're going to get, this training is worth Noam's, you know, I charge some people by the hour, and I start at $300 an hour, or I don't do anything for you, right? So like, you say, look, this guy is freaking in here, you know, every week for you for free if you join Beyond Pro, or you could go join that other sales organization that has no training at all. So what you got to pick, right? That's why we don't let it out to the public, because it is good for us to have it inside. So, you know, and how do we make money at it is, you know, we all find value. Everybody learns from these, from everybody. We go out and we make more sales. And then, you know, that's good for the company. And if I'm doing a good job, eventually I would assume that they would make that good for me. So, but yeah, I hear you. Got to keep the cash. So somebody's got to make some money around here. So, all right. So anyway, guys, I don't even know what else I was going to say, but I really wish I could figure out what it was, but I don't know. So anyway, I feel like we did pretty good deal today as far as objections. There's just so many of them. And let me give you this little list. And by next week, we're going to keep moving into stuff like I want to go through all of these in as much detail as we did, whatever we did today. Like, I need time to think about it. I need to talk to my wife or husband. There's a whole bunch of stuff there with I need to talk to my wife and husband first. You know, I've given you twice today in my little raps what I do there to just immediately erase that. But sometimes that doesn't work. So then there's a couple other layers of how you can still recover from that when they're really trying to get out of doing it now and just push them to do it now. We'll go over that probably next week. Do you have more information? Do I have to do it? Did you know you're in an HOA? Do you even have permission to be in here? We're too busy to get it done right now. Or it's a hassle. We've kind of gone over that. I'm mad at your company for messing up my yard or my street or my neighborhood when they put in the main line. How do you recover from that? Kind of went over it last week. We'll do more. I'm fine with what I have. My husband or wife won't get off the cable TV, so we can't switch to the internet, even though I want to. I don't use the internet. They're probably lying. Stuff like that, right? So we'll go over those next week. We're just going to keep going. If you want even more, get on tonight's call. We're going to do basically what we just did here today. I try to keep them pretty similar, but inherently we always go over something slightly different because people ask different questions and stuff. So last week's, they were like very similar, but if you would have been on both, you would have been able to hardly repeat anything, even though it was the same material. Because it's just, there's so many ways to skin a cat in door to door. So we're giving you some really good ones, but there's a lot of them. All right. Any last questions, comments, anything else? If you are, I think everybody on here's, yep, I got you on the list of folks for the wheel for this evening. So I appreciate that. But all right, let's go out. Remember, this is day one. We're not going to be any more one day this and one day that. Thank you guys for jumping on. I appreciate it.